Let's start. Unit 3512. Number 102. For quite some time, science educators believed that hands-on activities were the answer to children's understanding through their participation in science-related activities. Many teachers believed that students merely engaging in activities and manipulating objects would organize the information to be gained and the knowledge to be understood into concept comprehension. Educators began to notice that the pendulum had swung too far to the hands-on component of inquiry as they realized that the knowledge was not inherent in the materials themselves, but in the thought and metacognition about what students had done in the activity. We now know that hands-on is a dangerous phrase when speaking about learning science. The missing ingredient is the minds-on part of the instructional experience. Clarity about the knowledge intended in any activity comes from each student's recreation of concepts and discussing, thinking, arguing, listening, and evaluating one's own preconceptions after the activities, under the leadership of a thoughtful teacher, can bring this about. After all, a food fight is a hands-on activity, but about all you would learn was something about the aerodynamics of flying mashed potatoes. Our view of what students need to build their knowledge and theories about the natural world extends far beyond a hands-on activity. While it is important for students to use and interact with materials in science class, the learning comes from the sense-making of students' hands-on experiences. 14. Unit 3512. 0304. Unlike coins and dice, humans have memories and do care about wins and losses. Still, the probability of a hit in baseball does not increase just because a player has not had one lately. 4 outs in a row may have been bad luck, line drives hit straight into fielders' gloves. This bad luck does not ensure good luck the next time at bat. If it is not bad luck, then a physical problem may be causing the player to do poorly. Either way, a baseball player who had 4 outs in a row is not due for a hit, nor is a player who made 4 hits in a row due for an out. If anything, a player with 4 hits in a row is probably a better batter than the player who made 4 outs in a row. Likewise, missed field goals need not be balanced by successes. A poor performance may simply suggest that the kicker is not very good. Being rejected for jobs does not make a job offer more likely. If anything, the evidence is mounting that this person is not qualified or interviews poorly. Not having a fire does not increase the chances of a fire. It may just be the mark of a cautious homeowner who does not put paper or cloth near a stove, put metal in the microwave, leave home with the stove on, or fall asleep smoking cigarettes. Every safe airplane trip does not increase the chances that the next trip will be a crash. Unit 3512 Exercises. Number 0102. Imagine that your customer is in an upset mood. He has a sharp edge to his voice as you get to make your presentation. Many salespeople would attempt to get him out of his mood with enthusiasm or a cheery story. In fact, the converse is a good rule of thumb. When in doubt, pace your client. If your client has an edge in his voice, let your voice have an edge. If he sounds angry, let yourself be angry, but only briefly, with something that occurred today as well. This vocal pacing will help put you in sync with your client. Eventually you will lead your client out of the negative frame of mind, if you choose to. There is more that you can do with your voice than match the tone of your client. We all speak with a measurable average number of words per minute. Many people drawn to the sales profession speak quickly. Part of this experience is due to the nature of the business. We have to be quick and to the point. Unfortunately, if your client speaks slowly and you are speaking quickly to meet a time constraint, you will probably lose the sale. People tend to speak at a rate that is consistent with how they process their thoughts and internal representations. If people tend to think in pictures, movies, they tend to speak very quickly. People who tend to speak very slowly process information through their feelings and emotions. In between are people we call the radio announcers who speak with more rich voices and normally think in words. Your ideal is to speak in the same rate and pitch of voice as your client. Unit 3512. Number 0304. The best thing fire did was cook. Foods that humans cannot digest in their natural forms such as wheat, rice, and potatoes became staples of our diet thanks to cooking. Fire not only changed food's chemistry, it changed its biology as well. Cooking killed germs and parasites that infested food. Humans also had a far easier time chewing and digesting old favorites such as fruits, nuts, insects, and meat if they were cooked. Whereas chimpanzees spend 5 hours a day chewing raw food, a single hour suffices for people eating cooked food. Fire also opened the first significant gap between man and the other animals. The power of almost all animals depends on their bodies, the strength of their muscles, the size of their teeth, the breadth of their wings. Though they may harness winds and currents, they are unable to control these natural forces, and are always constrained by their physical design. Eagles, for example, identify thermal columns rising from the ground, spread their giant wings and allow the hot air to lift them upwards. Yet eagles cannot control the location of the columns, and their maximum carrying capacity is strictly proportional to their wingspan. When humans domesticated fire, they gained control of an obedient and potentially limitless force. Unlike eagles, humans could choose when and where to ignite a flame, and they were able to exploit fire for any number of tasks. Most importantly, the power of fire was not limited by the form, structure, or strength of the human body. The end. Good job.